Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ English. We are talking about exercise Milan in this video, a multilateral naval exercise being hosted by the Indian Navy. And exercise Milan 2026 is the 13th biennial multilateral exercise in this series of Milan. It's being held at Visakhapatnam, and can you believe about 74 countries are participating in this exercise? What's the objective? It is to enhance maritime cooperation, to promote interoperability, as well as to make sure that we commit towards a peaceful, law-based and secure Indo-Pacific area. We all understand India being a swing state always does this balance between organizations like BRICS and Shanghai Cooperation Organization on the one side, which are dominated by Russia and China, which America perceives to be anti-US, aiming at de-dollarization, a key challenge for India. On the other hand, India is also a very important part of the quadrilateral dialogue led by US, supported by countries like Japan, Australia, South Korea, which promotes at maintaining transparency and rule-based order in the Indo-Pacific, maintaining the protocols of UNCLOS 1982 and counterbalancing China's salami slicing and 9-line and the grey zone politics, including, of course, China's string of pearls policy. Now today, as we are celebrating exercise Milan, let's understand this 2026 version is very crucial. It's being held at the Eastern Naval Command. It will be held until about 25th February 2026. With that, let's quickly analyze the aims and the targets behind the exercise. But do understand that India right now is a nation that is doing its best to promote more stability in the Indo-Pacific, in the IOR region, also because we have shown keen interest in patrolling the Strait of Malacca, a strategic choke point between Indonesia and Malaysia. At the same time, India is going to host the BRICS summit this year. You see, how is India counterbalancing the situation with its new policy of strategic autonomy? Now, coming back to exercise Milan. Yes, it is an exercise that in the beginning was a regional initiative, but today, if you see, it is being conducted with a participation of about 74 nations. Massive participation. And this edition is very special because it is being conducted along with two other initiatives. One is the IFR, that is International Fleet Review, and the other is IONS. So what do you mean by both of these? Talking about IFR, it is a cooperative maritime exercise held in India. It aims to promote cooperation and to provide local maritime capabilities. Remember, this is the third one, the third IFR that's being held in India after the initial ones in 2001 and in 2016. Now, if you talk about IONS, what do you mean by that? So, IONS is a multilateral maritime initiative which aims at promoting cooperation among various countries in the Indian Ocean region. Who has been leading the exercise? It has always been conceived and initiated by the Indian Navy, and also remember that it serves as a dialogue platform or a regional maritime security based platform. Now Milan is being conducted alongside these two, but in the longer picture, if you see, it only reflects India's commitment towards Sagar, and then the more enhanced version of Sagar policy called as Mahasagar Vision. So do you remember when was Mahasagar signed up? So it was the Indian Prime Minister who had announced Mahasagar initiative in 2025 while he was visiting Mauritius. Yes, and what do you mean by that? It means much more elaborate from the previous version Sagar. Now we aim at expanding India's strategic vision, that is in the entire Indian Ocean region. Definitely, it's an enhanced version of the earlier Sagar that meant growth for all. Okay, the Growth for All initiative in the Indian Ocean region, that was for a limited area, but now Mahasagar is a much more enhanced, a much more geographically wider initiative taken by India. So let's also remember that if Sagar was 2015, now we are looking at Mahasagar. Okay, a complete initiative that aims to cover up the total IOR region. And what's the theme of the Milan exercise this year? Camaraderie, that's friendship. Cohesion, that's unity, and collaboration, that is about interoperability. How two countries or more collaborate and accommodate each other's military naval needs together. Now, 74 nations are participating. We are seeing about 60 and more warships that are being used. Quad countries are a key participant here. We just spoke about Quad. Japan, Australia, US and India. Why? Because for Quad, the main idea is to protect the Indian Ocean region and the Indo-Pacific area from Chinese expansion. Now, can you please tell me in the comment box which is the main military naval exercise held under Quad? Can you tell me which one is it? Or can I give you an option? Is it the Malabar exercise or is it the Ostra Hind exercise? Which one of these are related to Quad? Now, coming back to all other participants, major powers like Russia and France are also involved. Russia's involvement, despite Russia's proximity to China, is quite an interesting thing here. Then ASEAN countries are involved. ASEAN has been in the news throughout in 2025. Why? Because ASEAN has a new member now. Which member is that? An ASEAN summit that was held in Kuala Lumpur is also a summit where India has promised India might once again reconsider joining the RCEP, ASEAN-based Regional Comprehensive Economic Platform. Then IOR countries, all of them are a part of this exercise. Apart from that, the largest economy of EU, Germany. You have Philippines, you have UAE, with which India had signed a CEPA, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, back in 2022. Of course, you have these countries who are for the first time bringing their naval equipment to this exercise. Then, are there any countries that have been deliberately avoided? Of course. Goes without saying, China will not be a part of this. Why? Because ultimately the intention behind Milan is to secure Indo-Pacific, and China is the major reason why Indo-Pacific is insecure. China, with its policy of the 9-dash line, continuing to capture so many territories in the South China, East China Sea, Indo-Pacific area. For example, Chinese aggressive moves towards the Coco Island that has been threatening India. Chinese interest on the Strait of Malacca. From the Scarborough Shoal to the James Shoal, right to Taiwan. We know that China's intention is to spread its wings in the whole region. So China will not be a part for sure. Turkey will also not be a part, because why will India invite Turkey? Back when India experienced Pahalgam terror attack, Turkey supported Pakistan. Even today, Turkey is a part of the new Islamic NATO that's coming up in the broader West Asian area. Turkey has never supported India ideologically. So Turkey is not a part. And since for strategic reasons they are not the part, mostly the countries that have been invited are a part of India's secured preferred security partners in the Indo-Pacific. India will depend on reliable countries only. So this means now naval exercises are no more about providing humanitarian assistance. They are also not anymore about only testing each other's naval capacity. In fact, they have evolved into becoming a strategic tool now, because this shows strategic autonomy. A country will choose the partners with whom it feels secure. What are the objectives of Milan? Well, so many objectives, but the most important one, anti-submarine warfare, air defense, live fire drills. Twice in the news we have seen live fire drills. One when China was conducting Operation Mission Justice against Taiwan. Second, as Russia and Iran are conducting joint naval drills. Where? Near the Persian Gulf area. Why? Because US is threatening to attack Iran right now. Third time we are seeing live fire drills. Next, combating asymmetric threats, piracy, drone surveillance, maritime terrorism are being addressed. Third, humanitarian and disaster relief is also being looked into. Remember when Sri Lanka experienced the massive cyclone this time, Cyclone Ditwa. It was India which responded by Operation Sagar Bandhu. Now all these capacities are learnt under UN mandate, and these are example of humanitarian cooperation where from India, INS Udaygiri had taken a massive participation. Now looking at which are the notable warships that will participate, from India, INS Vikrant, our own indigenous aircraft carrier. You can see the image here. Then you have Nilgiri class stealth frigates. Of course, from other countries you have participation too. Notably, ships from Philippines, South Africa and UAE are also partaking in this initiative. So with Milan, one point is very clear, that no matter whether we have experienced a bitter relation with US because of the choppy dynamics regarding tariff. No wonder, no matter even if China keeps threatening us, whether it's through LAC, whether it was the recent Shaksgam, terror incursion by China, or whether it is about the Indo-Pacific area, India will maintain balance. India will do what secures India's best interest. Well, this itself is known as strategic autonomy. So quickly a practice question here. With reference to exercise Milan, look at these statements in 2026. One, it's a biennial multilateral naval exercise by the Indian Navy. Second, this edition has been held at Visakhapatnam under International Fleet Review IFR. Which was the first two IFRs? Do let me know. Third one, organized under the aegis of SCO. And fourth, exercise includes harbour phase interaction, sea phase interaction. While harbour is a passive phase where countries discuss and share their policies, practices, sea phase is the more application phase where actually naval drills and warfare operations are done. So which of these statements are valid here? You can let me know your response, and to get the answers, clarity and more information, do scan this QR and become a part of our ever-growing Telegram community today. And a quick announcement, if you are an aspirant preparing for UPSC 2027 and 28, please remember 26th is when the batch is beginning. Yes, 26th February. Right now, prices are highly affordable. Plus, if you use my code SPLIVE, you will get more discount along with a guarantee of selection by books, practice, live classes, mentorship. So enroll today to get a guarantee of your selection only at StudyIQ. Thank you.